So I watched a 2016 movie called Lost Solace. And after you watch the movie, if you watch the movie, you will realize what a wonderful, wonderful name that is for it, because it kind of lends sympathy to a psychopath. You know, it's like his life, he had a hold of his life for a while, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And so it's an interesting title for a movie about a psychopath. But how do I tell you what this movie is really about? It mainly centers upon this guy. His name's Spence. I forget his last name, Spence, and he's a psychopath. And in the very opening scene, he's with this older woman, and he's clearly been banging her, and he's looking at this painting in her living room, and she comes up to him and talks to him a little bit about it. And it's a beautiful painting. I like the painting, and apparently he did too, even though he's a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like there's always hope there, because he was curious about the painting, even though he's a psychopath, has no feelings and so forth. And then she's like, well, I love you. I want you here all the time. Why don't you stay while I go to work? And here's the keys. Here's the keys to the car and everything like that. Just be back here at 6 for dinner, and we can have dinner together. It's like, okay. So she goes off to work, and then he proceeds to ransack her place and take everything of value, including the painting. And so he takes it back home, and he has this little room, trophy room of stuff he's stolen. And he puts this painting up in the trophy room, and he's like, I kind of like the painting, even though I am a psychopath. I don't have any feelings. And he's like, oh, there's new swag, new loot. He's happy about it, and he goes on about his life as a psychopath with no feelings whatsoever. Like, there's a scene where he sees this lady crying on the street because some kid got hurt, and she's like seriously having an emotion. Then the next scene is him in the bathroom practicing in the mirror, a sad face, trying to emote it. And he may be a psychopath, but he's not exactly a killer. He's just like an opportunist and a thief. And so, but he has like absolutely no feelings, like any psychopath. And so he goes to a club, and there's some people doing drugs, and he does a little bit of blow, and someone hands him a pill, and he takes a pill. And he goes on about his life. Now here's the question. If you had a miracle cure for psychopathy in a pill form, do you think it would be ethical to introduce it to a nightclub mixed with ecstasy in an area where criminal elements are known to congregate? Do you think that would be ethical to have a trial for a drug like that, just to hoping to find a random sociopath, or psychopath? Anyway, so this is what this drug company did. They started passing out this cure for psychopathy mixed with ecstasy at these certain clubs at certain dates, right? And so in a little while, old Spence starts feeling weird. You don't get a whole lot of introspection, obviously. He's a very stoic character, even despite what's going on. But you get these flashes of him what's going on? He's getting actual pain, feel like something's wrong. And there's some artsy things where it's like overexposure, and it's a weird where it's just him grimacing in pain. But because a psychopath isn't going to explain what's going on with him. All right. And so a week later, he's dealing with all this trouble. And so he ends up going to the hospital. Right. And it's like, this is horrible. Give me something. What's going on with me? I'm getting those. What's that thing when if somebody kicked a puppy and you hey, that's wrong. What's that called? Empathy. I'm having that thing. Can you give me some sort of medication to stop that? And he goes to the hospital. He's like, I feel wrong. So he's just dying for opiates. He's just trying to kill the emotion, like a lot of people try to do, just trying to kill the emotion. And so finally, one of these people from the drug trial comes up. Did you take a pill that was probably looked like ecstasy, called something Rose, and on about this date at this club? And he was like, maybe. Why? He was like, okay, we think you're probably a psychopath, and now you're experiencing feelings for the first time. And that's kind of probably messing with your head, because you're a grown man, and now you're like, what, feelings? And so it's kind of an interesting story. It's quite intelligent. It is art. The art is great. I like the art in it, and it is a little bit artsy, and I take a star away for that. It's almost too artsy at points, and it is kind of slow at points. But in many ways, I consider it like Flowers for Algernon meets Clockwork Orange. It's really kind of smart and interesting in that way, where this guy, feelings. I don't want this. And this is the whole point. You know, it's like even people who have never been a psychopath, they get to a point where they start experiencing like feelings, even bad feelings, and you start hating the emotions. You start disliking and wanting to avoid the emotions, like this character. He started experiencing emotions. He's hating it. He hates the emotion. He goes go to the doctor. He's like, is this ever going to shut off? I want to go back to my Solace, you know? And they're like, no, buddy, you're different forever. And so as he's going through this experience, every time he walks into his trophy room, and there's other like plot elements I'm skipping over that are interesting. But as he starts seeing different things in the painting, you know, it's like something new every time he sees the painting, and he starts to understand and feel something about a piece of art, which is what good art does. And so it is all part of his process where he's like, because we all kind of like have to come to this conclusion, like, yes, emotions are a pain in the ass. And that's what he's dealing with. It's like, I hate these. Can you shut this off? And we all kind of hate him in some ways. But at the same time, he's also kind of falling in love with the world. And it's a very subtle kind of thing if you can pick it up. And if you watch this movie and you disagree, where he's kind of falling in love with the way the world is. And I think you need emotion to like accomplish that. You need to like look at the world and see this big stinking pile of pain and misery, but still finding something beautiful in it. And I think that's why it's a very good selection of the piece of art that was being used in this movie as kind of his focus. I think it was a very good piece of art for that purpose. Yeah. So I think it's a real smart, real good movie. 10 of 13 stars. Like I said, it's a little too artsy at points, a little too slow at points. And there's a character, this young boy character I cannot stand. He's intuitive. He picks up that he's a psychopath, and comes with him with a improper, you know, you want help me murder somebody kind of thing. And so, but he's such a jerk. Through the entire movie, I wanted to beat the crap out of this character. I hated him, but it was an interesting character. 10 of 13 stars, really good movie, a smarter kind of film. And it's funny kind of seeing a psychopath panic with things like emotion.
The madman loves you